We always talk about the ones he doesn't get, but do we realize his fourth down conversion percentage?
I gave you the numbers.
They were through the fucking roof.
If you put a -7 on it last night for the touchdown and by the way, Hank, you are operating in the same space that the Sticks and the Dannies of the world operate in.
Yeah.
You are just assuming if you punt, there's a 0% chance they score. A 0% chance.
Yep.
Which is definitely not the case. Not the case. If you want the ball 2 times to 3, Hank, I hope I coach a football game against you. I really do.
No. KG, but you nailed it. That's where we're at. How often do we hear somebody try to use the exception as the rule? Look at the numbers.
80% last night.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. What was that crazy stat they threw out at the end of the game? They were 6 and 7 in fourth down attempts against the Packers this year. And 4 for 4 from the red zone in touchdowns.
Yeah.
Come on, like that's our DNA, guys. Do you like 6 of 7? Do you like 4 fourth down touchdowns?
I'll one up you there, Sean. Do you like 12 and 1?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Because it's the backbone of the 12 and 1.
It is.
Cool.
Spenny, it's the backbone of it.
Yeah.
He's redefining football in front of our eyes, man. The fourth down is becoming such a crucial down now. And I know analytics plays a part. I don't want to deny that at all. But I kind of get the feeling from Dan Campbell like Jim Leland used to give me. He coaches off of feel. And I would much rather have a coach that has a feel and a pulse on where the game is in real time than to have somebody that's super analytical or a guy like Matt LaFleur on the sideline that's not willing to pull the trigger when the situation calls
If
for
they
it.
punt, they punt there, Green Bay has the ball last.
Yes.
Debate it.
I fucking love it, man. You could ask Easy. You could ask every single time. I was like, he's going for it. He's going for it.
Yes.
They're going to get it. And it's when I see them go out there on 3rd and 4 and run the ball up the middle for 2 yards, I'm like, all right, they're fucking going for it again.
Somebody has to lead the way. And KG, as you said, analytics suggest, but somebody has to lead the way. Dan Campbell has changed the way the game of football has been played. He has. Guys have followed his lead. I look at Neal, Patrick Waugh when he was with Colorado, okay? What was the time honored when you pull the goaltender? Around a minute 15. Patrick Waugh's yanking his goaltender with 2 minutes and 40 seconds
Why
left.
not? What's the difference?
Right. And so you know what people started doing? They're going, okay, he's a whack job. Make no mistake about it, but
makes sense.
We're going to start yanking our goaltender too. And so that's what, KG, I see it every weekend. And a lot of times guys make reference to Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
And Dan Campbell has really changed the way that NFL games are called by their play callers.
You know what it reminds me of, Sean? And I'll bring this into my real life. And maybe this is a stretch, I don't know. Dan Campbell with the fourth down game is like Starbucks in the early 2000s when I kept driving past this coffee place and the line was into the street.
Right.
And I'm like, what is this coffee place? So I run to the stock market and I look and there's a Starbucks, right?
Yep.
They're like $3.50 a share, $3.50 a share. I'm like, all right, man, I'll pump some money into that.
All right.
That's what it is. Like there's no way it can be this simple, but yes, it can be.
Yep. Absolutely.
3-2. Do you want them to have it 3 times and you have it twice, or do you want it 3 times to their 2? If they punt the ball there, the Packers have the ball last. You guys get to work in this projection world.
Right.
So do I.
And Dan Campbell don't coach scared. He wants to take control of the game at all times.
Yep.
And I love having a coach like that. When have we ever had a coach like that? This shit don't come around every day.
It's alpha male at its highest.
Yes.
It really is. We're the alpha male, and we're going to dictate terms on you.
Chuck Ken, love you guys. But
We
you
love
are
you
not
too,
only
man.
drunks, you are drunk on that stupid play calling.
Hey, 12-1, Chuck Ken. Eat shit, buddy. It works. It's not stupid play calling if you're 12-1.
Right.
Quit bitching.
It's different ways to coach, man. And Dan Campbell is doing it his way.
Jack Stark,
it's
Sean
working.
is right. Dan is resetting the league. Steve Wilds, Dan deserves a statue now. I want the Brad Holmes on top. Not only do I not want the Rensen torn down, I want Brad Holmes on the top of it, like that thing in Brazil.
Yeah.
What is it? Jesus the Savior?
Whatever it is. I want Brad Holmes standing there with his arms in the air like this.
I want him with apron mitts, like he's cooking something, like he's just pulling something out of the oven. Guys, it's time to eat, and he's kind of holding it up for everybody. That's what I want. Brad's cooking.
Put Dan Campbell right next to the spirit of Detroit. I don't care.
Maybe I made some movement with Stick. Stick in the chat. Dan Campbell is football Steph Curry. Stick, have you awakened? Have you been saved?
Listen,
he might have been.
He's not. Steph Curry changed the NBA forever. Dan Campbell's changing the NFL. I mean, we see it every week. That's not an overstatement. It's real.
Chuck Ken, you can't know they would have had the ball last. We had it 3 times to their 2, Ken.
Right.
So, yes, I can, Ken.
Ken.
Damn, you letting Ken's down.
Tremendous one.
Is that the first one today?
That is the first one
I
today.
missed it.
Tremendous one in the chat. Hank is scared. No, there's a lot of people scared. And here's the overriding message of it all. Sean, and I'm going to keep coming back to this. Because it's time. Guys, it's going to be way more uncomfortable than it was last night.
100%.
I'm trying to tell them.
Wait,
y'all
Sean,
not ready for the playoffs.
100%.
Imagine this. Say you do get the 1 seed and the bye. You know it's not linear, right? You know somebody who won a playoff game is coming into Ford Field, right? And they could have the lead in the game. They could have the lead. You don't just win 48-8 every time. Sean, it could happen. And guess what? You could be losing in the 4th quarter. Sean, you would have the little airline bag.
Do you know what it is? Like Neal, I'm going to say this again, and I don't mean to be like condescending, but gosh damn it, I have to say it. This is all new to us, so we don't know, honestly, for a lot of people, we don't know how to react. We don't know how to react to watching guys 3 or 4 deep who we don't know. Again, let's be honest, because I know we're supposed to be machismo and say, I knew every one of those guys. I saw that KG at Ball State, so it didn't surprise me that he made some plays. I didn't know who half those fuckers were last night. That's just real. It's real talk. I saw guys making plays I didn't know. But you know what you need to do? You need to accept it. Okay. That's what this football team does.
And thank God.
This football team finds a way. This football team finds a way to convert on these wacky 4th downs. That's exactly where we're at right now. Embrace it. It's real. We've watched it. And as Spenny said, and I quote, we're 12-1. That's real.
You should bow at the feet of this coaching staff.
Right.
You absolutely should.
Skydog722 in all caps. Hank, giving the Packers 0 seconds is a lot better than giving them 30. Anything else I can help you with?
That's a great line.
Yeah. Simple math, basic math.
That's a great line.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
Guys, this is literally arena football. And Sean, that was my first job in media, covering arena football. The Detroit Fury, Andy Kelly, to Junior Lord, touchdown. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Sean. All right, with that being said, though, it is, if you watch arena football, that is the possession playbook for the NFL. You have to have the ball last in that league. Mm-hmm. You have to. And guess what? The NFL, Sean, is it more your father's NFL or is it more arena football?
Oh, it's more arena football. That's what they want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You've heard me say it for years. Defense wins championships. All that stuff. Man, they don't want that anymore. The game's called that way. The penalties, everything. The focal point on the quarterbacks and protecting the quarterbacks, although they do kind of pick and choose when there's a hand to the face, let's be honest, and it kind of worked out for the Lions last night.
I love it.
Good teams get the breaks, don't they? And guess what? We're a good team.
Anzarike, all of them. What have we heard anything? What's the deal?
Levi, Pascal, they're day-to-day, week-to-week, whatever you want to call it. They're
moment to moment.
Moment to moment, yeah. Reader, same with Decker. I expect at least 2 of those guys to be ready for Buffalo. Hopefully it's Reader, Pascal. I think Taylor Decker should be good to go after this week. He missed
He's the one.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Dan Skipper played his ass off. Dan Skipper, I think it was 44 pass blocking snaps. He only allowed 1 pressure.
Factual statement.
Shout out to Dan Skipper.
Yep.
That was the best game of his career by far. And Big Skip going out there, take one of the most intimidating human beings you'll ever meet in your entire life, by the way. But the nicest guy ever.
100%. I play golf with him, dude. Yeah. I'm standing there looking at him with the golf club in his hand. I'm like, Are you okay? Like, why are you so big?
Yeah, he is crazy. But those injuries, they're like week to week. So hope they got the long 10-day rest. Hopefully, Pascal and Reeder and Taylor Decker will be ready to go against Buffalo.
What a bonus, because, like, honestly, Spenny, it's amazing after the fact how my mentality changed. I thought all week it sucks that we're playing on only a week break.
Yeah.
Because you had to wonder, would have Mosley been there? Would have Reeder been there? And I don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to pretend. But you can't help but ask yourself, if this was a Sunday game with a couple extra days of treatment, might these guys been able to go? Now to get that 10-day bump is huge. And same thing with Aleem McNeil. Let's get him right. Obviously, we know he came back in and then promptly came back out. Let's get him right. This 10-game bump. And oh, by the way, even playing a afternoon game is huge, Neal. It just is. I mean, right now you got to get yourselves right.
I'll ask this to you, Spenny, and I know the tales of your evening. KG and I were doing the watch party, so I couldn't watch it the way I wanted to. So my apologies to everybody. Did we get a report card on Broderick Martin?
Nah.
We didn't hear anything?
No.
I didn't.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
is that fair?
that is fair.
Okay. Because
I think it's fair.
he was your guy. You went down there to training camp after they traded up to get him in the draft. You said that dude was bumping the pads out there. So I like it. I like the fact that we're not talking about it.
No, it's a good thing.
100%. That means, as a lineman, if we don't say your name,
You doing your job.
you're doing your
got it.
job, man. Matt LaFleur. Sean, that was a mismatch of epic proportions.
Sure was.
Dan Campbell v. Matt LaFleur is not even a matchup. It's not even a matchup. You saw with his antics. You saw with his body language.
Yep.
Matt LaFleur, don't go into poker.
The early challenge, that 4th down challenge, like, what were you doing? It was a first down.
Right.
It was a guy that
Right.
the moment was clearly too big for.
Right.
Clearly too big for. So Matt LaFleur, you're not it, guy. He's not it, Sean. He's not. And we're here talking about a coach and his body language.
Right.
Soft.
Soft.
It blatantly soft,
Yeah.
too. Like, I hope some of the Packer fans kind of chime in. You guys, you tell me. Blatantly soft. Now, I'm going to say this. The cat in Minnesota is legitimate.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell's a great coach.
He is legitimate. I've watched him enough this year. And, Neal, I know we talked about it earlier in the year, and I was like, dude, they got something going on. I'm not saying that they're going to beat the Lions, but I'm not sure they're going to fade like so many people think. He's a heck of a coach.
Yeah.
And Stick in the Woodward Sports chat says, anyone see that fan getting Maddie's face before the game? There was a fan on the field who was like doing the, holding the American flag, was chirping Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur walked up on him, and we're having him on the heavyweights today.
Hey,
so make
shout
sure
out,
you
bro.
come check it out.
Shout out.
Make sure you come check it out.
Hey, you know what? I'm not saying go do it,
Do it. I am.
but
Allegedly.
Do that shit.
Had him rattled before the game started. Crash out Matt.
You're not that guy.
Not
to
that
quote
guy.
Benny Blades.
And shout out to Kirk Morgan in the Woodward Sports chat with the $10 super chat.
Shout out.
They wanted to name a street after MCDC, but people are too afraid to cross Dan Campbell.
1,000,000%. To quote the great Benny Blades, if I can get in your head before we've even kicked the ball off, I have won that battle.
Yep.
That fan, and Spenny,
Yeah.
I said the crowd's got to dig a little deeper. Ha ha! Look at that, man.
JT Olson said that's high key bullshit. Keep fans. He was doing his job. He was out there doing the fucking American flag thing. Be more of a mental midget, Matt LaFleur.
He can't.
Let a fan rile you up. Little cuck. He's a cuck.
And it's really the whole Packers organization, bro. It go back to, when they GM came out and said we don't hang division banners. Y'all funny as hell.
They
But-
don't. All the chairs in the Green Bay offices all face a hotel room back.
Yeah, they're all in the
All
corner.
of them.
All of them are in the corner.
Nah, man. No, but like I said, it goes back to
KG,
when they
can you hit us with that? Y'all silly.
y'all silly as hell. Man.
All right.
But Yeah, man, it just goes back to that. And the reason why I called him the Ryan Day of the NFL is because he's a damn good coach against most other teams except Detroit. And this is what they're measured up to every single year now. Like every time that the Lions have gone out these last 3 years and essentially taken control of the division, that's what pokes at them the most. That's what their fan base talks about the most. We are the measuring stick now. This is why you had a Brian Gutekunst. Oh, we don't hang division banners. Well, that's fine. You ain't gonna hang one for quite a fucking while, and get ready for it. Cause hey, we are here, and this team, we've been so hungry for this division for a long time, and now we actually run the fucking division. And I can say that confidently now. We run the division.
And Dan Campbell plows your wife, you cuck. I hate that.
Everybody over there is sensitive. Everybody over there is soft. Everybody over there gets tight when they got to come see the Lions.
And so are the fans. Look at the fans now. Packers fans saying, "Oh, the Lions get all the calls.
Yeah.
The refs won this
Like
one for
what?
the Lions." You've become everything you hate. You are nothing. You are dead. Good day, sir.
I got a text from my buddy who I've been friends with since I was 5 years old. Guy I trust with my life. Just text. Spenny's on one today.
Hey,
Fire.
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. We're 12-1. Again, even without half of the starting defense, the Detroit Lions are the best football team on the fucking planet. I get to wake up every day living my dream, talking about the best football team on the fucking planet and getting paid for it. Fuck the Packers. Right here, baby. Green Bay's fake. Yeah.
Steve Wild's in the chat. Jump into there, by the way. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel if you haven't. We just picked up 138 subscribs since we came on the air.
Thank you, guys. Seriously.
Shout out to all of you.
Thank you.
We're
We
moving
wouldn't be able
towards
to do this without you guys.
75,000 subscribers. How many's the flagship got? Anyway, was that out of line? Sean, you got uncomfortable.
No,
A little
I
bit.
didn't get uncomfortable.
Okay,
No.
sorry.
You hit
No,
around
no.
the waist area. Just keep it up. I'm the referee. Just keep it up.
When you're speaking,
If you do it again,
I'ma
I'll
give you a
deduct
point deduction.
listen,
next
when you're
time.
speaking fact, how can one get uncomfortable?
Well, you can go look that up
That's
to confirm
not my
it.
fault. That's
Yeah.
not your fault.
Yeah, you can go look it up to confirm it
Yeah.
if you want.
Go right
But
ahead.
anyway, that being said, Steve Wild, that fan's a hero. Get him on the show. What time? What time's it coming
I
out?
think
Right.
5:45. I think we're gonna have him. He'll
Protect
be on
him.
the heavyweights. The guy's he's the man.
I'm going to be traveling to Youngstown for basketball this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm tapping in.
Oh, for sure.
I'm tapping into that.
Did you see, by the way, how
100%.
classy the Lions are? They hooked cheese grater guy Dave
Yeah.
Bodine, who you had on
Yeah.
the show.
Yep.
They hooked him up with tickets. He couldn't make it. He's an old buddy of mine. He couldn't make it because the Houghton Hancock area just got bombed with snow. But the Lions were like, "We got you, Dave," and he was able to give those tickets to his I think it was brother-in-law, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. The Detroit Lions are doing everything right now. And this is a franchise, whether we want to
Yes.
admit it or not, that did everything wrong
For a long time.
for years. And not that long ago.
Sean, right now, the Detroit Lions are the best organization in sports, from top to bottom, from management
I'm not
to
gonna argue.
ownership to coaching
not
to
gonna
team.
To drafting.
To drafting.
To financially.
Yes.
Mike Disner, Sheila Ford Hamp, Chris Spielman, Brad Holmes, all of these guys, man, all of these people. Sheila Ford Hamp's got the biggest nuts in the city. Remember when she came out in front of the media when Dan Campbell was 0-8 or whatever it was and said, "These are the guys. These
Yep.
are my
I'm
guys.
sticking by 'em."
I'm sticking by them. They're going to get us right." What have they done since then? They've been the best football team in the fucking world.
Literally since that moment.
Sheila Ford Hamp, I love you.
You guys need to watch the heavyweights today.
It's going to be
Oh.
electric.
You
They
can't
turned
keep
up.
this pace up.
I got leg day. I'm gonna go do leg day. I'm gonna picking up some creatine and some protein from the protein. I'm ready to go.
Turn your show
I'm
up,
ready
bro.
to go.
Hell yeah.
He can't keep this pace up. I'm
shit.
tuning in
Shit.
just to see if you can keep this pace
I
up.
can't.
Spinny's shooting 60%
can.
from the field. Yes, the fuck he is.
I'm not betting against Spenny. Never bet on black and never bet against Spenny.
That's a
Those are
fact.
two rules.
Spenny's like Bam Adebayo right now on the good nights.
I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling it, man. It was all night last night too.
Yeah.
I was feeling the vibe of second best. I was feeling the vibe of the city, and I told the camera, I told the fans, you're going to sit here and try to tell me the Green Bay Packers are going to walk into this city tonight and beat the Lions? You're out of your goddamn mind. There wasn't a single team in the world that was walking
No.
into Detroit last night and winning that game except for the fucking Lions, man.
Because you were 11 on 68,000 last
Yes.
night. Like that's what it was. And like we're up against a break now, but just real quick, we discussed this on the show yesterday. Like the Lions fans had to wear this too. They had to pull their weight, and it was 11 on 68,000.
We show up every single effing time. Like, seriously, I didn't see a drop of green and yellow in that crowd.
No.
You remember when
Sean,
they used to sell out our stadium.
Great point. Sean, there was like a Packers fan in the camera shot. Like, and I'm sure it was a family of a season ticket holder. Like, Sean, that great take, KG.
Yeah.
There were no Packers fans last night.
It wasn't that long ago. Like you said, I will never forget, and shout out to Mark Spindler. Spindler and I were walking out of Ford, or it wasn't Ford Field, it was the Silverdome, and there were a bunch of Packer fans that were accosted by Lion fans. And Spin, kind of being the good dude that he is, kind of stopped these Lion fans from pounding on all these Packer fans. Do you know how many times we saw things like that? Forget it, at the Silverdome. The first few years of Ford Field, I can't tell you how many times, man, I'm walking like down near the Elwood, and I'm looking at people and going, hey, guys, just be careful. You know, we've been at kind of a downtrodden franchise. I love them, but I don't want to see you get your ass kicked. And that's, like, seriously, I draw the line at that shit, man.
Yeah.
You need to check yourself. If you want to go beat somebody up because of who they root for, that's a you problem. Get your fucking head fixed, okay? but at the end of the day, it was one of those things you saw it more times than you could shake a stick at, and you don't see it anymore. Isn't it beautiful? You don't see it anymore. Our fans have just mounted up, and that's our stadium, dude.
IT Hips in the chat. Nothing better than victory days with this fantastic crew. Thanks for everything you do. The dream of the Lions being a first-class franchise is now a clear reality. And IT Hips, clear as day.